Yo, what's going on, guys? I want to talk about Garry versus Michael Venom Page that transpired last night. Um, the fight did go how I thought it was going to go in some ways, but it also didn't in other ways. I thought that the way it went on the feet was how it was going to go. I thought that Michael Venom Page was going to be too fast. I thought it was going to be in and out. I thought Garry was going to have a lot of trouble timing him, a lot of trouble figuring him out, a lot of trouble countering him. Garry's really not that great on the feet. As much as he wants to think he is, he's really not. There's nothing really that impressive or special that he does on the feet that is so different than anyone else. I think, honestly, he lacks fundamentals. His feet tend to be all over the place from what I've seen, which is going to compromise your base. But Michael Venom Page, he did what I thought he was going to do on the feet. He really did outstrike him. He landed the bigger shots. There was many times where Ian just couldn't even touch him. What Michael does very well is he stays out of range if he doesn't want to strike. When he does want to strike, he comes in range. I know that sounds like almost like dumb. Like, yeah, obviously. You'd be shocked how many fighters don't do that. You'd be shocked how many fighters stay in range without any sort of offensive plan, and then they end up getting caught, right? Just like Garry did. That's one of Jerry's biggest problems, is he just stays in range and tries to like feint and do all this like, things with his movement to try to get you to react, but he's in range the whole time. He's there to be hit. He's there to be countered. In a fight, you need to, if you're not going to exchange, play a little bit outside the range. You don't want to be in range all the time. And a lot of fighters make that mistake. They're in range all the time, thinking they're going to land the perfect counter. They're going to have the perfect setup. They're going to see everything that's happening, and they don't. They end up getting hit with something big. They end up getting put out. So one thing that Michael Venom Page does very well is he doesn't play in range unless he's planning on exchanging with you, unlike Jerry Prohaska. However, this style that he has, it really got exploited. I think he got it kind of exposed in the Mike Perry fight when he did bare knuckle. I didn't see the whole fight, so I can't speak on it enough, but I did see the highlights. And from what I see, he did kind of get exploited in the same way a bit. He does this thing where, it's like this very fast, like, I'm outside range, can't hit me, now I'm in, and now I'm out, right? It's super quick. His stance is designed to blitz you and then get out. He's so fast that it just happens in a split second, and then he's gone. He's phenomenal at it. Phenomenal. The problem is that in order for him to do what he does and get in and get out as quickly as he wants to, he can only really land one shot. So if that one shot doesn't knock you out, he's got to do it again and again and again. Garry has a chin. If we didn't know that, we all found that out. Garry has a chin. He hit him with some solid shots, and Ian didn't even really look rocked. He looked like it hit him and caused damage, but he didn't even look rocked with any of those shots. Like, he took all of them. And that's the problem that someone like Michael Venom Page faces when he fights someone who has a chin. That he's going to have to do that again and again and again throughout the fight. And oftentimes he'll do like the double fake, and then he'll come in, throw, and say it's a big right hand that lands, but then he lets you chill for 30, 45 seconds. He has to have some sort of game plan where he follows up and continually hits you, and he doesn't. He doesn't have that. So, this like blitz in, hit you once, if I don't knock you out, then you get to recover for 30, 45 seconds until I do it again, and then he only really lands like once every 3 times he does it. So he ends up hitting you once or twice in like, maybe 2 to 3 hard shots in like a full round. You get to recover, and then if you have any sort of like wrestling base, any sort of game plan where you can push him back, keep your feet solid, keep him dancing around the cage, pick him off a little bit, land some kicks, make him uncertain to blitz in on you like he does. If you have any sort of game plan that you can effectively execute like that with a lot of success, like a wrestling game plan, like Garry came with, you're going to have a lot of success against him. The way you beat those guys is you just pressure them back. You suffocate them, because their whole game is reliant on this blitz movement. If you take it away from them, they don't know what to do. Same way that like Raymond, if you guys know who Raymond Daniels is, he was a kickboxer who was making a lot of noise in kickboxing, but then he ran into guys like Joseph Valtellini and Nicky Holskins, and they would just pressure him back. They would just take his offense. They would just guard up. Typically that karate style only allows you to throw 1 or 2 big shots. Then you gotta back away and set up your blitz again. So that allows them to creep forward the entire time and land stuff on you, beat up your legs. That happens for a round or two. You can't take more than that. Then you're done. Now you can't move. Now you got to rely on, staying in the pocket and trying to defend because you can't move, which a lot of those guys don't have the fundamentals to know how to do, and they get beat. And that's exactly what happened to the same way Wonderboy gets beat. Wonderboy is definitely the best guy to incorporate karate into MMA. I think he's been the most successful, even more successful than what's his name? Lyoto Machida, even more successful than him, I think. But even then, you look at the way he gets beat. It's driven back, pressured, and just nonstop pressure, nonstop pressing him against the cage, nonstop single legs, just nonstop. Take him down, he gets back up, take him down again, and it just suffocates him. And then he's zapped, and he doesn't know what to do. And then his energy's gone. He's done. That's it. That's all it is. And that's exactly what happened. And Michael Venom Page is even worse than someone like Wonderboy because he really only throws like 1 or 2 shots every minute. And if it doesn't knock you out, he just backs up, lets you recover, and sets up his little blitz again, right? And if that next blitz doesn't land, then you get another minute to recover because he's got to do another one. So the amount of time it takes, the space in between when he decides to strike and when he decides, and then he gets out and then bounces around again and sets up another blitz to the point where he feels comfortable coming in and throwing another big shot, it gives you too much time. So unless he can put you away in one shot, like I've been saying, you're going to have a lot of success against him if you can have, like a wrestling game plan like that, one where you pressure him back, assuming you can last through his 1 or 2 big shots. So Ian Garry kind of laid out the blueprint on how to beat him. And he's going to have a lot of trouble in the UFC facing anyone who has any sort of wrestling background. He's just going to get suffocated. He really is. So is what it is. I thought Michael Venom Page got exposed. It's freaking crows, man, I swear. I thought Michael Venom Page got exposed pretty bad. Can definitely say he's probably never going to be a champion or top 5 or probably top 10. I thought Ian Garry's striking got exposed though too. Like Ian really couldn't touch him, and he really kept getting hit. If Michael Venom Page had an ability to follow up, he could have put him away. Like if he could have just followed up those big overhands he blitzes in with like a left hook, or like a left uppercut. If he could have just followed a couple of those up, he would have had a good shot of putting him away. But he doesn't. So again, if he doesn't hit you with that, if he doesn't knock you out with a big blitz, lets you recover. So and then he gets pressured back. So he's gonna have a really tough time in the UFC. Really tough time. Unless it's a pure striker, he's gonna get beat. Wonderboy does better against grapplers. Yeah, he got exposed. He exposed Ian Garry though too. And I think I don't really like. I still don't think Ian Garry's that good. I think there's just kind of a lack of skill in the lower levels of the 170-pound division right now. I think that's why he's flourishing. Sometimes every now and then in a division, there's a lack of skill. It's, between certain rankings. That's why you'll see certain guys who like Cody Garbrandt, for example. He was a guy who never was really that good. He just was at the 135-pound division at a time when there weren't a lot of guys that were that good. So he was a level or two above all of them. So he just ran through them. As soon as guys started to come up who were as good or better, like TJ, Pedro Munoz, and who else flatlined him? Rob Font beat him. A lot of guys. As soon as guys like that started to come up, he just got smoked. And dude's lucky he's still in the UFC the amount of times he's been beat. So, yeah, that's just what happens lots of times. And I think that's the same with Michael Venom Page. I think that he was successful because he's facing a lot of guys who just don't have good fundamentals and a solid, a solid game plan, solid skills through and through. And now he's facing guys that do. He's getting exploited. So, kind of same thing on both ends. But I think the first guy that Garry faces who like has decent striking and decent wrestling and has, you know, some decent movement, I think he's probably going to get knocked out or finished or just beaten in like a unanimous decision. I don't see him being a champion anytime soon. And yeah, not super impressed with his skill level. He is getting better. Definitely getting better. Like, he is good, don't get me wrong. Oh my gosh, got the hiccups. Worst time to get hiccups. But he's still got a lot of growing to do. And I think Leon would smoke him. I think Colby probably have a good shot at beating him. Gilbert, I think, would smoke him. I think Bilal would beat him. Who else at 170? I think Jack Della Mandela would probably beat him. And there's some other guys too. So he's probably like low tier top 10. I don't think he's going to be top 5 anytime soon, but we'll see. I could be wrong. He is improving, man. He whipped out that jiu-jitsu and wrestling game plan pretty solidly. Again, he's doing it against a guy who really has no jiu-jitsu, or very much wrestling defense in Michael Venom Page, which another way Michael Venom Page got exploited. But yeah, it is what it is, man. When these guys get to higher levels, their lack of fundamentals and holes in their game really get exploited. The higher levels you get to, the more your lack of skills get illuminated and exploited by other competitors. So that's why the guys who win are the guys who are the most well-rounded. Look at Leon Edwards. Look at Islam. Look at Volk. Max Holloway. You know, you got to be good at everything. You got to be usually phenomenal at one or two things and then at least pretty good everywhere else. Those are the guys who do the best. So is what it is. Anyways, wanted to make a video about it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I wanted to, go ahead and share my thoughts on this. And also, if you guys are looking to build muscle very quickly, I happen to be an expert in advanced hypertrophy training, as well as learn boxing, learn how to do both, learn how to box and build muscle, whether you want to do an upcoming fight, whether you just want to start sparring, whether you just want to start doing heavy bag work for cardio, whatever it is. I'm quite proficient at both. I'm not an expert in boxing the same way I am in hypertrophy training for bodybuilding, but I do train boxing quite a bit, and I have aspirations to fight as soon as I can, and I've done quite a bit of sparring, and I can definitely offer my 2 cents there, how the two go hand in hand together, how to be kind of a bit of a hybrid athlete and be able to do both, but bodybuild and box at the same time and do both proficiently, build muscle, also not tax your nervous system too much, what days to do which one, how often you should be doing each one, how to build your cardio while still maintaining muscle. If you guys are interested in anything like that, I'm going to be dropping a group. It's going to be a paid group. I'll be dropping it soon. What I want you guys to do, if you're interested in something like that, I want you to go to my Instagram. I'll link my Instagram below. Shoot me a DM. Shoot me a DM that says program. That's the magic word. DM me program. This way you'll be on the list. You'll be in for the early access, and I can get you in at a discounted price, something like that. And so yeah, we'll go from there. And you guys will be the first ones to get in. I think I'm probably going to only allow a certain number of people in there. So you'll definitely be among the first maybe 15 to 25 people that I let in to start training and working with. And we can go from there. I'm going to start uploading training footage on this channel, as well as giving my 2 cents in fighting and talking about dynamics and things that are happening. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think, whether you like it, you like my commentary, you don't, you think I'm a moron, whatever it is. I'm here for all of it. I'll respond to all of it. We can have conversations, learn, grow. That's what it's all about. So this is The Art of Violence. My name's Angelo. Till next time.